Chapter 1. The First Meeting. Daniel arrived in the city with one suitcase and a printed map. He found a small room above a bakery with walls thin enough to hear the neighbors arguing every night. The next morning, he walked to the factory where he had been hired as a junior technician. When he stepped into the HR department, a woman looked up from her computer. "Hi, you're the new employee, right?" she asked. Her name was Emily. She had calm gray eyes and the soft tone of a person who had learned to stay patient. She helped him fill out the forms, joked about how confusing the documents were, and wished him luck on his first day. Over the next weeks, they met during lunch breaks. He told her about his hometown. She shared stories about moving to the city alone at 19. One evening, they walked home in the rain under the same umbrella. A month later, Emily moved into Daniel's apartment. The room felt bigger when she entered it. Chapter 2. A Shared Life. They lived simply: cheap pasta, secondhand furniture, late conversations sitting on the kitchen counter. Daniel worked long shifts. Emily took extra hours typing reports at night. They dreamed out loud: a larger apartment someday, maybe a car, maybe a child. When Emily became pregnant, their world changed. Their daughter Lily was born on a cold day in February. Daniel held her tiny hand and understood how fragile everything was: the future, money, love. But love wasn't enough to pay bills. They slept in turns. Emily cried sometimes from exhaustion, then laughed at herself. Daniel wanted to be strong, but he was tired in a way he didn't know how to explain. Chapter 3. Climbing Out. 2 years passed, their apartment filled with toys, invoices, and half-finished dreams. Daniel studied online courses after work, trying to learn enough to shift to a better job. He watched tutorials late at night while the apartment was silent. Emily returned to work in an office as an assistant. She liked the rhythm: coffee at 9, meetings at 11, a sense of purpose. Their money situation improved a little, but at home they argued more often. "Why are you never here?" Emily asked one night. "I'm doing this for us," Daniel said, but it sounded defensive, not loving. Both felt alone in the same small room. Chapter 4. Someone Else. At work, Emily met Mark, a project manager. He was older, confident, and spoke about travel and business with ease. He made Emily feel seen, not as a tired mother, but as a person with ideas. She began coming home later. She spent more time on her phone, smiling at messages Daniel never saw. Daniel sensed something changing. Not a dramatic moment. More like the temperature dropping slowly, day by day. One night, when Emily fell asleep on the sofa, her phone buzzed. Daniel read a short message from Mark. Nothing explicit, but the tone was intimate, warm in a way Emily hadn't been with Daniel for months. Something inside him cracked, not anger first, but sadness. Chapter 5. The Argument. The next day, Daniel asked her directly, "Who is he?" Emily hesitated. She didn't lie, but she didn't fully tell the truth either. She said they were just close at work, that he respected her ideas, that she needed someone to talk to. Daniel felt both betrayed and guilty. He wondered if his absence had pushed her away. Their conversation turned into shouting, both saying words they didn't mean. Or maybe they did, but not like that. Lily woke up crying. They fell silent, ashamed. After that night, something fragile between them was gone. Chapter 6. The distant weeks passed. They tried to pretend things were normal: morning coffee, daycare, work. But underneath the routine was a quiet distance. Emily stopped trying to explain. Daniel stopped trying to ask. They became polite strangers, sharing a life built on old promises. One evening, Emily sat at the kitchen table and said, almost whispering, "I don't feel like I belong here anymore." Daniel had imagined this moment many times. When it finally came, he didn't shout. He just asked, "Is there still a way for us?" Emily looked at him with tears she tried to hide. "I don't know." The truth was simple. They had both fought so hard for a better future that they forgot to fight for each other. Chapter 7. The Ending. Emily moved out in late autumn, renting a small apartment closer to her office. They agreed to share custody of Lily. The apartment looked bigger again, but emptier than before. Daniel kept the toys and the small pink jacket on the hook by the door. Sometimes, on quiet evenings, he remembered how they once believed that love could fix everything. Life went on. Work, daycare, quiet dinners. He continued studying, not to impress anyone anymore, but to build a future where he could look at himself without regret. Emily visited often. They stayed friendly for Lily's sake, but there was a distance in their smiles, a reminder of what they once had and lost.